My name is JollyBridgit Oyaro, and this is my story. So back then in campus, I went through a GBV experience from an intimate partner, a person I called my boyfriend, a person who I assumed was my safe space, and the violence that I went through was, of course, physical, and at some point it used to happen even in front of people when we were going out, or when we had like an argument, just the two of us, and he'd just snap and get violent. So it took me almost 3 years in that relationship, but when it came to like the third year, I was like, hey, this is not right. And funny thing, my friends didn't even know, my close friends. I remember I used to go home with some marks on my body and I'd lie to my mom, oh, sijui nimeanguka, oh, sijui hanging line imeniguara or something. Then my mom went further and decided to like do a background, and she found out that I was going through a GBV experience, and she was so mad at me. Remember, like that's the first time as a grown-up tulikosana na my mom like for a long time, because she was wondering how I'd be staying in a violent relationship. And mind you, I was doing gender and development studies, maybe a course that is in line with human rights, gender issues. So it was not a good experience first, because it made me nilikuanga tu na feel stressed. I don't know whether I went through like a mental health issue, but at some point I felt ni kama stress accumulate mingi. How will I start telling my friends? But one day I just decided like this is done. Niliampanga tu nikasema hii relationship imeisha. I didn't care what people said. I remember when we went back to school, tulikuwa long holiday, and then people were like, oh, you broke up, blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah, we broke up, but only my close friends knew why we broke up. So for me, that is my story, and I'd love to encourage like the young people, if you are in a relationship and the relationship gets violent, please leave when it's early, because for me, it took me almost 3 years. And imagine uko na marks kwa body, at some point I was being strangled, sasa ningekufa. So for me, I'd encourage like young people, young girls, young men, when you get into a relationship and it becomes violent, it will be verbal, it will be physical, it will be sexual, please leave that relationship, because it never stops.